Hey there, Garland Vance from Advanced Leadership, and I want to talk to you about how you can begin to diminish hurry, worry, and scurry from your life by freeing up your busy mind. See, a busy mind is one of the worst enemies that's going to drive you to hurry, worry, and scurry. And the reason is that a busy mind can't focus for very long. So there's all these ideas that are floating around in your head, and rather than putting them in a trusted system, you just let them sit there in your mind. So you've got 1,000 things that are running through your mind. And it's kind of like your mind is your like the RAM of a computer. The more windows and the more programs that you have open, the slower your computer gets. And it's the same way with your mind. The more thoughts and ideas and actions that you keep trapped in your mind, the slower your mind works, and that's going to increase your busyness. That's going to increase your hurry, your worry, and your scurry. So I want to talk to you about how you can begin to free up a busy mind. And it's actually really simple. There's 2 steps, and I'm going to give you a couple of suggestions along with those. So the first step is you've got to get everything out of your mind and into something else, either a piece of paper or some Postit Notes or a digital program. Like, what you put it on matters a whole lot less than the fact that you get it out of your mind. So if you want to use Postit Notes, that's a great way. That's actually how I first started doing it. I would just carry around some Postit Notes, and every time I had an idea, I would write one idea on one Postit Note, and then at the end of the day, I would peel off all of those Postit Notes. Or it could be that you take it in a little notebook. So I got one right here. This is a little notebook that you can carry around with you, and you have an idea and you just jot it down right in there quick, slip it in your back pocket. It's real small. So a notebook. The third way is you can get a program like Todoist, which is my personal favorite. And in Todoist, it has an inbox, and you can, every time you have an idea, you just write down your ideas in your inbox. And so that's the first step. You just got to get things out of your mind and into a trusted system. But once you get it out of your mind, then there's the second step. And the second step is you've got to take those ideas and you need to process them so that they become action. Okay. Now, I followed my own advice, and instead of keeping all of this trapped in my head, I wrote it down, right? So let me look at my notes here. What you want to do is you want to begin to ask yourself, when you process all of these ideas and all of these notes, you're going to ask yourself 3 questions. The first question is, do I really need to do this? Should I do this thing that I wrote down? You know, a lot of times we have ideas about all kinds of things, and just because you have the idea doesn't mean you have to take action on the idea. So, first question, do I really need to do this? The second question is, what is the action, the actual action that I need to take? So, for example, if you have this idea and you're like, oh, I need to get the oil changed in my car. Well, the action that you need to take is either call the mechanic to schedule an appointment or block some time in my calendar to get the oil changed, right? It's not just going and getting the oil changed. There's an action, an actual action that you need to take first before you do that. So you want to write down what that actual action is and give it a date, give it a time that you're going to do this. And that's when the third question comes into place. When should I do this? Or even when can I do this? So you may be on a work trip and you realize, I need to get the oil changed in my car. Well, you can't do that right at the moment. So you look at your calendar, and when you're coming back, and you ask yourself the question, when could I, should I, can I do this? And that's when you put it into your calendar. Those 2 steps of writing it down or typing it out in a trusted system, and then asking yourself those questions as you process it of, should I really do this? What is the next action that I need to take? And when Should I do this? When you ask yourself those three questions, your mind is going to become less and less busy, less hurried, worried, and scurried, because you're going to get all that stuff out of your head and be able to process it and do it in the right time. A busy mind is going to lead you straight back to busyness. But if you can get unbusy in your mind, your calendar is going to follow.